example that you can fight a good fight without engaging in stupid tactics that undermine the intelligence of African people. Anyone in Africa, whoever has got a concern, put up a dignified fight. Let us not reduce our political battles and grievances into kidnapping of beautiful, innocent young girls. Whatever the grievance in Nigeria, it can be fought through an election, and the people of Nigeria, if they buy a story of whoever has got a grievance, they will vote that person into power. We are very happy. We continue to be an inspiration to Africa. We have made history. A political organization led by a 33-year-old. For the first time in the history of this country, it will be represented in Parliament. All of them were led by old people. Only a party formed within 8 months, it is amongst the top 3. Even in Olympics, they only announce top 3. So, which is a clear indication that indeed we have got a bronze medal. So we are winners. We are taking something home. And our people are very happy about the performance of the EFF. Remember that we had amongst us the inexperienced people. We didn't have former premiers. We didn't have former ministers. We didn't have former leaders or millionaires amongst us. We met different characters during our campaign. But like we said when we started, we want ordinary people who come from amongst the poor of the poorest to be leaders of this organization. So we're sending ordinary men and women to Parliament. People who come from a very, very humble background. One of them is Primrose in Marikana. Yeah. She will be in Parliament. She has never dreamed in her life of being in Parliament. But the material condition on the ground is actually dictated that we take such people to Parliament. We want to thank our fighters, the volunteers, our leaders, the election team, which worked very hard to deliver these numbers. Of course, it was not easy. Of course, we made friendship with lazy people, which we thought some are hard workers. Others thought winning elections mean more TV interviews and radios, and never neglected, they did neglect the ground. A person does more media interviews than the community meetings, and you think that is a contribution. Those are type of characters we met in the process of doing our work. Well, that's how revolution is. We meet different characters. It was a nice experience, and we think we're better people today. We are beginning today to campaign for local government elections. All our structures are instructed to go back and strengthen the ground. Now we are going to establish a department of organizing with a full-time personnel. Its role is to establish branches all over, yes, including in the provinces. All members of the CCT and the War Council who have made it to Parliament, they will go to the Parliament, but halfway through they will be recalled. Some of them are going to serve the organization on full-time basis. Not all of us will go to Parliament. We'll announce in the due course how many of those people will come back. We're going to be announcing the Youth Command Team, its interim structure to establish the youth wing of the EFF, also the Women Command Team. We are now establishing the organization. We are going to build the structures of the EFF because we got this million within 8 months. So the task is every 8 months we must get 1 million voters for the next 5 years. And that's how we're going to emerge victorious. So we're grateful and we're very humbled. We will never sell out the mandate given to us. We are not going into bed with anybody who doesn't represent what we stand for. The ANC should know that with us they've got 2/3 majority. Only if they want to change policy and bring an alternative radical policy. If they want to amend the constitution and put a clear clause that says expropriate without compensation, they must not worry. Here is the 2/3 majority. If the DA wants to remove President Zuma and they want to push a motion of no confidence, we'll vote with them. We're not going to vote with anybody who compromises the masses of our people. We are not just an opposition. We are a qualitative opposition. We don't just oppose where it's not necessary. When a person says, no, my name is Jacob Zuma, no, you are getting for the sake of just doing it. We are not that type of an opposition. We are going to put substantial issues on the table and we are going to debate them. That parliament was debating issues that are in the periphery and not real issues. Now we are going to table real issues in parliament. There will no longer be sleeping in parliament because everybody will be awake, ready to receive what the economic freedom fighters are going to say. We are not going to comply with the unjust regulations and laws in parliament. An unjust law is not law at all. And that is starting with a dress code. Why should people be refused to enter parliament with overalls and be restricted to wear suits and ties? That's a working place. We are going there, some of us, with overalls because we are going to work. If the weather allows, we'll also wear makarapa into the parliamentary chambers because that's where we are working. We are not going to work through wearing ties and suits and creating an impression that we are better than others. People are hiding their stupidity behind ties. We don't want that. We want workers, when they see us in parliament, to feel confident and to know that indeed we see ourselves in the economic freedom fighters. That's where we are. And so there's going to be a lot of things that we'll have to challenge in that parliament. We want a parliament that reflects the South African society. We don't want people, when they see our parliament on TV, they think we all look like that. That we have arrived and we all look nice in suits. They must know that we have not arrived, our people are still suffering. And that matter will permanently be on the table in Parliament. So I think that this concludes what we're saying today. The EFF will release a full statement with details. We have lodged certain complaints. We think there are areas where there were serious problems. However, they are not of such significance to a point where they can affect the fairness and the freeness of our elections. We accept defeat. We accept defeat and life goes on. People in Alexandra, we call upon you to accept defeat. Do it in a dignified manner. Don't put South Africa into ashes because of election outcome. This is not the end, it's the beginning. All of us, let us receive the outcomes and congratulate the ANC and let life goes on. Let's go and serve the people of South Africa. We are all winners. No one has lost here. And therefore, we don't have to be bad losers. Let's accept in a dignified way and bow and allow the ANC to continue for the next 5 years. The only thing we're happy with is that we told people that the rot is going to continue. So we are not going to be part of the rot. Anyone who voted for them should know you're contributing to corruption. Anyone who voted for them, you're contributing to the rot in this country. We are not part of that mess. We are happy history has given us an opportunity to self-correct and not be part of the mess. We will never be like Cope. Yeah. We've passed the first test. We did not have two faces as election campaign faces. We had one face. Cope had two faces. That stage we have passed. We are now going into the second stage of building and electing leadership. We are going to safeguard the unity of our movement jealously. No one with a tendency of disruption through contestation will be allowed. People are going to be allowed to contest for positions. We are a democratic organization, but it must be done in a manner that is not disruptive. It must be done in a disciplined manner. It must be done in a dignified manner. We are not going to disappoint our people the same way Cope did. Anyone with such uncontrollable ambition for power should know that you don't have a space in the EFF. Here we are not fighting for positions, we are fighting for working on the ground. When they ask who will go to Alexandra to go and talk to those comrades to disperse, we must fight for that and say we will all go and call the comrades to order to accept the defeat and move forward. No fight for positions. When our list was released, that's another test. There were no such troubles and contestations on our list. Already there are people who are indicating on our list who have made it, by the way, who are saying, please, we think we can better serve when we're outside. Can you allow us to contribute from outside? So we are humbled by such requests because there are clear indications that our people are not obsessed with positions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, CIC. I'm going to take the first round of hands. Let's make it 4. Gentlemen,
there are people this side as well, at the back.
So it will be 1, it will be 2 brother, 3 sister, 4 Ranjit. Okay. Okay, shoot.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Malema, you have a provisional order of sequestration to use the deadline between 9th of May. What are you doing to sort of sort it out so you can use Parliament?
2.
Yes, Global News, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm so excited you talked about the girls being kidnapped by Boko Haram. And I just want to know, because in the last couple of hours, we've had talk of the U.S. Marine locating where the girls are at the moment in the forest. I just want to know what kind of process have you put in place in negotiating and discussing with the group? You say, quoting you said you've been in contact. I just want to know what kind of contact you've made and what the process has been, because the Nigerian government and Nigerian people are looking for answers, and if the EFF is far away in South Africa, is providing the kind of answers we in the media are not providing the people, then we have an issue. That's what I want to know from you. Thank you.
Number 3.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Nova from ANN7. I just wanted to ask you, going forward, how are you going to ensure discipline in the party, and are you going to work in the organizational structure in provinces as well as municipalities?
Okay.
Did you get that question?
It was the last hand.
I didn't get the question.
Please repeat.
Going forward, how are you going to ensure discipline in the party, because you'll be going to parliament as well? And in terms of how are you going to work on your organizational structure in provinces as well as municipalities? Thank you.
Okay.
I'm Ranjini Mansami from Daily Maverick. Mr. Malema, you said that not all of you are going to parliament. That is, the list that you submitted to the IEC, are there going to be changes to that? Are you saying that the entire team that was presented is not now going to be amended? And secondly, President Zuma visited the IEC headquarters on Thursday. He did not interact with your team from the EFF, and there seemed to be a bit of a standoff. I just wanted to find out what's your comment to that, and how you, there was some commentary from your members about not wanting to interact with a criminal, and I just wanted to find out how you intend interacting with President Zuma. Thank you.
Well, we are here to talk about the election outcome and not sequestration. So you must learn to know which questions to ask where. You must have a sense of occasion. So you need to know where to ask certain questions. So I don't think that question is relevant here. I've accepted the nomination to Parliament, and I'm going to Parliament to lead the EFF from Parliament. We are not in contact with the organization in Nigeria. We have sent a message to different organizations in Nigeria to try and locate us a possible contact so we can engage with those fellows in Nigeria. And we want to communicate a simple message that there are a lot of different methods to engage in a revolution if you've got different, whatever grievance you have, genuine or not genuine. But kidnapping girls is not one of those. It can be an effective method we need to use to advance whatever cause. We don't agree with it, and we want to talk to them. If we get a contact, and it looks like we're succeeding, if we get a contact, we will talk to them, and if they agree, we'll make means to go and engage them. We don't agree with American intervention. Africans must learn to find solutions to their own problems and not ask imperialist forces to intervene when we have problems. I mean, those ones are bloody thirsty, and killing Africans for them is what they do as an extramural activity. So we don't want that. No matter how angry we are with whoever has done wrong in Africa, we still have got to find a peaceful solution to the problems we are confronted with. And we must salute the courage of President Mbeki for having taken a decision to go to Nigeria, even when he knew that there is a problem of security in that country. Those are the type of leaders we want, not an AU chairperson that goes all over KwaZulu-Natal when the children are being kidnapped in Nigeria. We want brave leaders, we want courageous leaders who don't only interact with Africans when it is nice and fashionable to do so. And President Mbeki inspires such confidence. We're happy he's there, and we hope he will use his wisdom to try and find the quickest African solution. So we're asking those fellows, wherever they are, we're pleading with them, please return the girls. We understand the struggles in Nigeria. We know that the Nigerian natural and mineral resources are still exploited by multinational companies which are representatives of imperialism. Whatever the difficulty, let us not resort to method that will cause death amongst African people. We value a life of every African child, and let's protect those lives. So we are pleading, we are on our knees. We are asking for the release of the girls. We are asking because we are also suffering from the imaginations of what their parents are going through. To lose a girl child should be the most painful thing. We are pleading, we are asking, please release the girls. But we're saying to the girls, don't give up. You must find inspiration in the EFF. You must know that there is nothing impossible. We are coming to get you. Don't lose hope. Continue fighting. Africa is looking for you, and Africa will find you and deliver you to your parents. That's all we are asking. We're not amending any list. Those who have made it on the list will go to Parliament. But if people voluntarily say, I'm asking to remain outside for purpose of studies, for purpose of strengthening the organization, and contributing much better when I'm outside. We can't force people. So there's no list which is going to be amended. The list remain as it is. But acceptance by others not to go to Parliament is more than welcomed. And because we are a government in waiting, we are going to be sending others to school to go and acquire the best of the best qualifications in preparation of the administration. Because we are going to take over this government. The indications are very clear that we don't play when we say we are a government in waiting. So we want to take others to go and learn, and not just learn, but in the best of the best universities in the world. We'll pay for their fees, and then when they come back, they must come back and serve the government of the EFF and make it one of the most effective and efficient government. Well, I don't know why Zuma didn't greet the EFF. Unfortunately, he was too busy. I don't know. He had many other better things to do. And if we are not one of those things, it's okay. I mean, there's no excitement out of greeting Zuma, man. Why should we even feel? We don't feel anything, whether he greeted us or not. We don't have a problem. And it can be an issue, Ranjane. Our people want water and electricity, and not whether Zuma greets EFF or not. Let's deal with the substantial issues and not greetings. I have no worry about Zuma. With or without him, we have made it. I mean, him and his forces thought they've written some of us off, and they were done with us. The next 20 years will be here, still fighting. You're fighting with the most energetic people who don't get tired. Once we put our idea on it, we go for it. We don't play. So we are here for the next 20 years. We'll be fighting. It can't take us 50 years to take this government. I can tell you now. It won't take us 50 years. Within a short space of time, we'll take this government. We'll take this government and we'll lead it in a manner that our people will be very happy. The ANC has reduced. If there is any loser here, it's the ANC. Yeah. They've lost.
Gauteng West.
In Gauteng is worse. They didn't just lose percentage, they lost Gauteng. The reality is they've lost Gauteng. Whatever the shenanigans they've done, we accept the result. That's part of the game. Hey, Alex Mafia knows that they've lost Gauteng, and they've had to apply Mafia's tactics to win Gauteng. Whatever the tactics they use, fine, we accept. But they know wherever they are that they've lost Gauteng.
Yeah.
They didn't get more than 50%. They did shenanigans. We don't want to deal with that. We are happy. It's okay. That's a school fees you pay when you are in politics. It's part of the game. You can't be a crybaby and want to permanently complain. We love this country. We don't want this country to go into a civil war. We don't want this country to be in ashes. We love this country. Whatever the shenanigans, for the sake of peace and unity of this country, we are ready to close that chapter and move forward. We love this country of Nelson Mandela. We'll never do anything to compromise the unity and the peace in this country that Nelson Mandela fought for so many years. But those who do shenanigans should know that they don't love this country. They don't love the peace of this country. They don't love Nelson Mandela's legacy. Their conscience will speak to them. We accept the result. We accept defeat. We shall emerge one of the good days.
Okay, we'll take the second round. I'm going to try start this side this time. Is there any hands?
Oh yeah, there was a question on
structures.
Yeah, look, I said there are people who are going to serve the organization full time. They are there, and then Parliament is not Italy. It's here in Cape Town here. So If we can run an organization from Johannesburg, we can run it anywhere else in South Africa. Plus, there is a free internet, parliament, telephones free, so there is no problem. Actually, we are going to be more effective. Yeah, there is Skype. We can Skype so way to, hey, what are you doing there? So there is no problem. Whether we are in Johannesburg, whether we are in Cape Town, we will run this organization. I said, we are going to establish the ward command teams. We are going to establish sub-regional teams. We are going to have regional conferences. We are going to have a provincial conference. Our national conference is going to be this year in December. That's the target date we have put for ourselves. So, and in the process, one of the firm proposals we are making is that the Secretary General or the President of the party will have to be full-time, or the two will have to be full-time. The conference in December will take that decision. And if they say the President must be full-time and the Secretary General full-time, if I'm a President, I will accept and withdraw from Parliament, come and serve my organization full-time in Braamfontein. And that's what some of us enjoy the most, working with the organization on full-time basis. So we enjoy exactly that. And then now we are preparing for local government elections. We took a decision, every province must buy a truck with a sound system and all that. There shouldn't be a weekend without EFF activities. Full-time personnel is going to be employed. Remember, hey, the money is coming from balance. So now we're investing that money into the organization. Full-time personnel to work the ground. They shall be paid on full-time basis, but we want results. They shall be given a target each of how many members to recruit, how many branches to establish. And anyone who misses a target, it means that person is not ready to work. We work and pay people on the basis of their performance. We don't want lazy people here who are just enjoying glory. We want people who work the ground. That's the type of an organization we are. If there is a protest anywhere in South Africa which requires our attention, we shall leave Parliament and go and attend that protest. We're very disappointed when the soldiers were deployed in Alexandra and the police. We don't want that. Let politicians solve political problems. When you say elect me, and giving people t-shirts on the queues of voting, you are saying to them, I'm ready to solve any problem you come up with. If there is a problem of instability and xenophobia, we must be there to resolve that problem. We want the EFF that is on the ground. We are a protest movement, and we shall attend to all the queries of our people. We are not just going to talk from Parliament. We will work the ground. You shall see us on the ground. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to enjoy staying in Cape Town and sleeping in Cape Town when our people are suffering here on the ground. All those people who have voted for us, every ward where we emerged strong, will go back there as an immediate task to go and thank those people for their votes and still commit to them even after election, that we're still with you, will continue to fight for your demands.
Okay, 1, passing, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5. Okay, 1.
Elvin Simpier from Power FM. When you guys go to Parliament, what will be your first priority? What is it that you want to place on the agenda, and will Nkandla be one of those issues? You guys spoke about the Nkandla committee saying that the Parliament waited for the EFF to be there and then only will you discuss the Nkandla matter. And then Mr. Mpofu, obviously it seems that you won't be the Premier of Gauteng, but will you be in the Gauteng legislature?
2.
Abdullah from Jack Ryan FM. The strike in the Platinum Belt in the North West has been going on for 4 months now, and some of the workers there are really struggling. What is the EFF's plan of action for the strike there?
3.
James from Build over here. Mr. Malema, just 2 things. Previous election, you were still with the ANC. How do you feel today? Not being part of, is there any kind of regret that you're not part of that party anymore? A second question is about also about Marikana and the Commission of Inquiry. It appears the President has changed the terms of reference. I don't know if you're aware of that. Do you think that the Marikana Commission of Inquiry is going to lead to any real result? The last question is just about.
Go on.
The last question is just about the EFF policies. You'd have to agree, Mr. Malema, that the ANC actually has done remarkably well, and that the EFF, in fact, is, with 6%, it is a magnificent result. But surely, if the country is doing as badly as it is, as many is saying, you would have done even better. How do we bring those two together? Is it safe to say that the majority has actually not accepted the EFF policies and the things that you are standing for, or is it or not? Thanks.
Okay. Matiwa from ENCA. Mr. Malema, I'm sure you know now that the ANC does not need you or any party to put any law through. There is a majority. So how are you going to make meaningful contribution in Parliament, seeing that you want to make changes and so forth? And also, how do you plan on existing in Parliament where you know that we are a constitutional democracy? And some of the apparatus of the EFF, like the land issue, are not in line with our constitution. So how do you plan to exist in Parliament where we have a constitutional democracy as EFF?
And then the last question, where is that gentleman from? It's from ENCA.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah.
Now we shall deal with it.
All right.
Good day, Mr. Malema and EFF. Simon Herjik from Daily Sun. I just wanted to know, do you have a special message for your voters in Orania? And then it relates to Helen Zille yesterday expanding on the fact that the DA has garnered 700,000 black voters to indicate that the Democratic Alliance is not just a so-called white party. So that's why the question on Orania relates. And then the second question is, will you still be agitating for Parliament to be moved to Tshwane?
Yeah, Tshwane, Parliament must come to Tshwane. We must save the cost, and all the arguments we've made. We shall make that submission. I don't know why Orania is special, because Orania is South Africa, so we got the votes everywhere. And it must never be, there must never be an impression that we are voted by Afrikaners who are looking for their own state or something like that, because there are also black workers there who need the liberation economically and all that. But even if we are voted by Afrikaners, there's nothing special. They are South Africans. They must be treated as such. Stop isolating and differentiating the same communities. It's wrong for me. I don't agree with that. My brother, the Constitution has got what we call a section on amendments. And any issue that is not in the Constitution, we can amend the Constitution to include that matter. And I don't think expropriation of land without compensation is unconstitutional. The advocate will deal with you on that regard. But there are others who are arguing that actually our Constitution allows that. Expropriation without compensation for public purpose and public interest. There's such an argument. So don't embarrass the ENCA like that. If it was SABC, it was understandable. ENCA. We know that there is limitation in the SABC. So We don't expect such mediocrity from ENCA, but we know SABC has got such potential, so don't embarrass that institution. It's not true that there is no party that needs us. For the ANC to amend the constitution needs 2/3 majority. They don't have it. So there will be an issue which will require of the ANC to want to pass through, and it will require 2/3 majority. And it's not true that in politics you don't need each other. You can have all the numbers, but you also need moral boost. That I'm not alone, I've got certain parties supporting me on this or that. So politics are more broader than issues of numbers. It's not only numbers, but also political morality and the ability to mobilize as many role players as possible to support whatever you are advancing, both in parliament and in society. It's a good thing to do. The ANC didn't do well. I mean, if you know what well means to the ANC, they can pretend to you, go, I don't know who's here from America. You know, Americans, I like them because they are very good with the capacity of telling you if a person is comfortable or not comfortable. They do that all the time when there are debates, and they will tell you he was sitting like this when things were nice, and now he was sitting like this. This is how he moved his fingers, which is a sign of panic. And they analyze an individual's conduct. Now, I'm saying this to you, to go and look at the press conference of Gauteng yesterday. Look at Paul, look at Makura, look at Nkenke, Kekana, Wapapa, generally, Generally, Kekana, the spokesperson of Gauteng, is very energetic and he likes showing off, like, we're here, man. Yesterday, no translate. Somebody will translate to you. There was no such any. I've never seen them like that. I worked with them. I've never seen them like that. They've lost big time. It's not doing well. The ANC is not doing well. From 68 to 62, coming this way from Thabo Mbeki's era. The man got at least 65 in 2009 when we were still there, and then he reduced to 62. In the ANC language, that's a big problem. They are going to show a brave face here, but inside, it's a big war. It's a big war. So the ANC is not doing well at all. The ANC has won election, but it declined. That sentence, just to say the ANC won elections is incomplete. A complete sentence will be the ANC won elections, however it declined. That's the reality of the situation. New kid on the block without anything gets 1 million plus, with its face of the campaign facing criminal charges and tax matters. Imagine if Julius Malema was cleared of all those things. They knew very well that to clear Julius Malema before elections is a mess. They knew that. I said to them, take my trial now. I argued in court that this trial is going to make my work impossible. I want to engage in an effective struggle against corruption. I'm unable to effectively address that when I'm confronted with such allegations. They postponed the trial to September this year. The way they hate me and the way I'm a threat to them, if they had a case against me, they would have trialed me long time ago and found me guilty. But they wanted me to go into these elections with a dark cloud hanging. A new kid on the block with those difficulties still emerges. we are doing very well. And we have not reached every area. You must go and check in the rural areas. We don't get vote, we get 2-3 votes. Why? We didn't reach them. People can't demand a cell phone if they don't know a cell phone. If they don't know there's something called a cell phone. You must ask these South Africans. They never had a cell phone in the 80s. They were so comfortable. They never had a problem. They used to go and check their girlfriends 20 kilometers the other side and then come back and not worried that there's a quickest method of checking on that girlfriend. But the day there's something called a cell phone, which has shortened the distance, they went for it, all of them. People won't want EFF if they don't know it.
Yeah.
They don't know EFF. It was impossible for 11 million people to know EFF within a space of 8 months. It was practically impossible. Come on, man, for once, give it to the EFF. They deserve it. They deserve it. Within 8 months, they are known by 1.1 something million. So I think we're doing well. The ANC is going down. The ANC has lost Johannesburg.
Yeah.
They did less than 50%,
Yes.
if I'm not wrong.
The metros, they've reduced.
The metros.
And they're going in local government.
So, 2016, there won't be ANC mayor in Johannesburg and Tshwane and Ekurhuleni. There won't be. There won't be. So, there is no ANC which is doing well. And to project a brave face actually is not working for them. Zuma missed an opportunity. And the ANC people need to tell him, Zuma destroyed the Youth League. This was supposed to be the time for consolidation for Zuma. Cope was dying a natural death. He saw it. He saw that Cope was dying. Instead of uniting forces, he went on to paralyze them. He missed an opportunity. Here is the 6% of the ANC which was going to make 2/3 majority. He was going to live with a 2/3 majority. He missed an opportunity. You remove hard workers for political expediency. The ANC allows him to do that. The ANC allows him to purge people on the basis that he must be saved. The ANC will never recover from this mess. Yeah. Even Cyril can't bring the ANC to 2/3. Because the only way to bring the ANC back to 2/3 is to arrest Zuma. Yes, when he gets released as a president, you must arrest him as a sign of commitment to fight against corruption. Anyone who comes in and says, no, I'm going to fight corruption, they are, okay, you are fighting corruption. What about this one? Are you going to arrest Zuma or not? You have to commit that you will arrest Zuma for people to take you serious on the fight against corruption. Anyone who comes after Zuma and doesn't go and arrest Zuma, the ANC will never recover from that. I have no regret leaving the ANC at all. They said it was cold outside the ANC, but it's very warm. It's extremely warm like.
With what million people are?
How can you feel cold when you are surrounded by 1 million people? 1 million. They are your shield. So it can never be cold. We are happy here. We are happy here. We are articulating the demands of our people without fear or favor. We are not scared that after speaking Floyd, somebody say, yeah, we are going to take you to DC.
Yeah,
no. Every time you want to make a political articulation, you are scared that you can be taken to DC or something like that, or you can lose a job. We don't suffer from those things. We are free. We liberated ourselves from that mediocrity. We are fine. So we have no problem at all. We support strike of AMCU. If it means it must be permanent, let it be. Let those mines not operate until our people get what they want. We are tired of exploitation of workers by white monopoly capital. We support the strike, and we are going to contribute money.
Yes.
We are going to contribute money to AMCU into the strike fund so that they can give those workers who are on strike some little resources to keep them going. We are encouraged by their determination. They mean business. They don't sleep with capital. So we are very happy. We are encouraged by that, and we'll be making a call to international communities to support the strike fund. Let us all contribute money. Let us all support those workers. They are fighting for the just cause. The first thing we want in Parliament is 7 cardinal pillars of the EFF. We want expropriation of land without compensation. We want nationalization of mines, and all those things. We'll be putting motions to that effect. We are not going to allow that Parliament to just discuss other issues which do not relate to what are the serious problems confronting our people. We want our land back. Our land must come back. And the land is going to be one of the serious debates the Parliament will have to be seized with. Yeah, Dali will answer the other one of Parliament. And Marigan.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Yeah. Well, firstly, let's start with the Gauteng question or my situation. You know, without giving you a long story, I must just tell you that you know, we don't. In any disciplined organization, we don't deploy ourselves. So we're a very disciplined organization. What will happen is that the organization is going to decide, as the Commander-in-Chief has said, what happens, and individuals will also make requests to the organization. I did not deploy myself as a premier candidate. And as you correctly say, the premier candidacy, because we accept the results under the conditions that have been explained, has not materialized. And therefore, what will happen next is a matter that will be announced by the organization itself. But I think that what is important is to emphasize what the Commander-in-Chief has said. If you look at the Gauteng story, which is that where we were able, because of the smallness of the place, because of the ability to reach our people, where we were able to reach as opposed to the rural hinterland and so on, what we have achieved is to put the ANC at 52, 53%, which is not a comfortable place to rule anything. It means if one person is not in that legislature, anything can happen. And that's exactly what we want. We want to put pressure on them so that we can take government next time. And if that, with all the constraints that have been explained, if we have achieved that, that is more than phenomenal. As far as the, well, I just touched, I think it's been dealt with, the issue of how effective can you be if you only have 6% in the National Parliament. I think that people must really learn how our democracy works. This democracy is even structured in such a way that even some of the parties that will not get the 45,000 members and so on are going to have a representation in Parliament, because it's structured so that even a fraction of a seat can become a seat, because it encourages multi-party democracy. There are several serious
SABC, sharing 20 years of inspiration.
Well done, South Africa. Through voting, you have made your mark for democracy. The State Information Technology Agency will continue to work with government to secure your data in a safe environment. CETA, safeguarding the integrity of the population register through ICT provision. South Africa, a better place to live in.
Hello and welcome to PM News, coming to you live from Johannesburg. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lulu Gabu, and with me from the sports desk is Marumo Kekana. Now, Marumo, Sundowns is doing very well. They've taken the cup.
Sundowns did very well. I mean, look, Kaizer Chiefs led almost the entire season at the forefront. But look, Bafana Style, they finally caught up, and their coach, Pitso Musiman, Pitso is not shy to put his views across as to how he feels. Now, I guess he has all the breaking rights and other sports stories that you can look forward to. With 33 days to go before the kickoff of the World Cup, Brazil president makes visits to unfinished 3 stadiums that are supposed to be hosting some of the World Cup games. Stick around, we'll update you on this and other news making headlines in the world of sports later on during the Sports Bulletin.
Coming up next, the headlines. The IEC says it is elated with the fact that the African Union Observer Mission says the country's 5th democratic elections was generally free and fair. Leaders from different parts of the world continue to call for help in bringing back the more than 200 abducted Nigerian schoolgirls. And in sports, pressure is mounting on Brazil to finish all of the World Cup stadia with only 33 days left. The IEC says it is elated with the fact that the African Union Observer Mission says the country's 5th democratic elections was generally free and fair. IEC Chair Advocate Pansy Tlakula says they are humbled by this. Tlakula says the Commission worked hard to ensure that the elections were conducted in an environment that would produce a free and fair outcome. Tlakula says the objections they have received will not affect the outcome of the results. Meanwhile, preliminary results from the country's 5th democratic general election show that the ANC has won with a reduced majority. It got just over 62% of the vote. The official results are expected to be announced at 6 o'clock Central African time this evening. Calm has been restored to Alexandra, north of Johannesburg, after post-election protests in the township turned violent. Almost 60 people have been arrested and will appear in court on Monday. The SANDF were deployed to Alex last night to help contain the situation. The protesters had gathered outside the local magistrate's court, where 31 people were supposed to appear for allegedly torching IEC officers in the area. They barricaded roads with burning tyres outside the Madala hostel. Police Brigadier Neville Malila says police had to use rubber bullets and stun grenades to disperse protesters who had burned tyres and barricaded roads. The SANDF has been deployed to Alexandra Township, north of Johannesburg, to try and contain a volatile situation. The protesters barricaded roads with burning tyres outside the Madala hostel. Congress of the People leader Mosiwa Lekota will soon meet his party's executive to assess their dismal performance at the polls. The party lost 26 seats in the National Assembly. The party now only has 4 seats in Parliament.
A COPE drew a large crowd at its election manifesto rally in Bloemfontein, but that did not translate to votes. The party was formed in the Free State and became the official opposition in the province in 2009, but many have now left. The party's support also declined in the Kroonstad, the former party strongholds and the hometown of party leader Mosiwa Lekota. This time around, the party lost all but 1 seat in the provincial legislature. Mosiwa Lekota believes that the party is still relevant. For now, though, it's back to the drawing board for COPE.
SABC, sharing 20 years of inspiration.
Well done, South Africa. Through voting, you have made your mark for democracy. The State Information Technology Agency will continue to work with government to secure your data in a safe environment. CETA, safeguarding the integrity of the population register through ICT provision. South Africa, a better place to live in.
Welcome back and warm greetings from the sports desk. My name is Marumo Kekana. Let's update your sports news. Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff toured the unfinished World Cup stadiums in the southern eastern city of Curitiba just 33 days before the tournament gets underway in Brazil. Curitiba's Arena da Baixada is one of the 3 unfinished stadiums out of the 12 venues that will host World Cup games. The others are the Arena Pantanal in Cuiabá and the Arena Corinthians in Sao Paulo, which will host the opener between host Brazil and Croatia on June 12th.
Originally built in 1914, the Curitiba Stadium underwent an extensive modernization project and is still missing thousands of seats that need to be installed before the clocks runs out. Delays have complicated ticket sales and installations for communications equipment. About 27,000 seats are still being installed at the stadium. Amongst the 6 stadiums refurbished ahead of the Confederation Cup Brazil in 2013 is the Estádio Castalezo in Fortaleza, which holds a capacity of 58,000, and a complex including restaurants, cinemas, a hotel and an Olympic Center. The Arena Amazonia, situated in the rainforest of Manaus, will hold 42,000 people in a structure designed to resemble a straw basket, typical of the region. The Estádio das Dunas in Natal has been built with a capacity of 42,000 and undulating design intended to reflect the sand dunes the region is known for. The Estádio Beira Rio in Porto Alegre, with a capacity of 58,000, is the largest football ground in the south of Brazil. The Arena Pernambuco in Recife, with a capacity of 42,000, also includes a complex of restaurants, shops and cinemas, and is intended to stimulate the expansion of Grand Recife, an economically deprived area. Even with a reduced capacity of 76,000, down from the original 200,000, the Maracanã in Rio de Janeiro remains the country's largest stadium and is certainly the most iconic. The delayed Plaque Arena Corinthians in Sao Paulo is scheduled to host the opening match between Brasilia and Croatia in June 12. Inaugurated in 1965, the Estádio Mineiro in Belo Horizonte belongs to the Minas Gerais state government. It has an overlay capacity of 57,000. The Estádio Nacional in the Brazilian capital of Brasilia is the country's second largest stadium with a capacity of 68,000. The Arena Pantanal in Cuiabá is another of the unfinished venues. It is missing seats, wiring and other details after having suffered structural damage in a fire in October.
Although Mamelodi Sundowns has already been declared the 2013-14 ABSA Premiership champions, there's still plenty to play for in today's final round of the fixtures. The top 8 has yet to be confirmed, while at the other end of the lock, the relegation battle is fierce.
Golden Arrows will be relegated and play National First Division football next season. Free State Stars and Polokwane City are the other teams fighting to stay in the Premiership and even avoid the promotion relegation playoffs. Stars are in 15th position on 26 points, 2 points behind Polokwane City, who are in 14th place. The Free Staters play Moroka Swallows this weekend and need to beat the Dube Birds to have any hope of avoiding the playoffs. Premiership rookies Polokwane City, on the other hand, just need a draw against SuperSport United to book their place in the Premiership for another season because of their superior goal difference. Platinum Stars, SuperSport United and AmaZulu are locked in a battle to secure a place in the top 8. AmaZulu, who play Kaizer Chiefs in Polokwane, need just a single point to secure a top 8 finish. Platinum Stars are currently 9th. They must beat Ajax Cape Town and then hope that either AmaZulu or SuperSport lose their matches. Themba Shibai, SABC News.
Premier Soccer League champions Mamelodi Sundowns will pocket a total of 30 million rands in prize money for their efforts this season. Despite winning the 10 million rand first prize for the league title, the Brazilians will be awarded extra 3 million rand for winning both the third and the fourth PSL quarters. Their 3-0 win victory over their neighbours SuperSport United sealed their Q4 status the same night when they were declared the winners of the 2013-14 ABSA Premiership season. Sandawana are top of ABSA Premiership Q4 log with 18 points from 6 games. Mamelodi Sundowns also won quarter 3 with 18 points. And that's your sports for now. Magdali Rasmus is standing by with your weather update.
Thank you. It's such a lovely day here in Gauteng. Typical autumn day, clear skies and a little bit of a breeze, but just dry. Now, if we take a look at our satellite loop, we do see another weather system here across the southern parts. Just look at all this cloud activity. That's, of course, a cold front that made its way here across the southern regions. However, it's dry conditions throughout the southwestern parts for this afternoon, but we are expecting some rain here along the coast of KwaZulu-Natal and the adjacent interior. And now it will also be quite windy along the south coast, as you can see. Strong westerly winds there for the Garden route, and then over the interior also quite windy over the Eastern Cape, but then, as I said, a nice breeze here in Gauteng. And then by tomorrow this cold front moves away. However, we are still expecting some rain and drizzle along that eastern escarpment, and the wind is also much less stronger here along the southern regions, but then clear sky settles in across the central and western parts. Now your temperatures for this afternoon, it's a lovely warm day across the northern parts, maximums even breaching that 30-degree mark in Musina and Palabora, but then much colder further south. Look at this, 17 there for Graafrein, Cradock, as well as Queenstown, and then also another cold day for Sutherland, a minimum of 11, and then overnight it will still be quite cool there, minimum of -4. Also another cold night throughout the southern and central regions, 0 there in Bloemfontein as well as Bethlehem, but nice and warm here over the eastern parts. And now provincial forecast for tomorrow. Gauteng, another fine day in the forecast, maximums around the lower and mid-20s. And then further north, of course, some drizzle along the eastern escarpment, so Thohoyandou can expect some rainfall. And along with that, a lovely warm day, maximum of 27. And also warm day across the Bushveld, Bela at 28. And nice and warm in Lephalale. Now for Mpumalanga, also some rain along the escarpment, but over the Highveld, it will be a dry day, partly cloudy skies, with the maximums around the lower and mid-20s. For KwaZulu-Natal, also a bit of rain along the coastal regions, but it remains rather cool for these parts. A little bit warmer towards Richards Bay at 24, but still cold in Kokstad at 18. The Eastern Cape, much warmer than what it was for today. Maximums getting closer to 20, around 21 for Port Elizabeth and East London, and we are expecting partly cloudy conditions. The Western Cape also slightly warmer than what it is for today, but still sunny and dry conditions, around 17 in Cape Town, 18 for Hermanus, and then above 20 in Vredendal. The Northern Cape, also a lovely fine day, and the temperatures also be lovely warm there in Uppington, but much colder for Sutherland still, maximum of 15 and 17 in Calvinia. Then over to the central parts of the country, also a bit of cloud across the northeastern parts of the Free State, otherwise clear skies and also cool to mild, maximums around the upper teens and lower 20s. And then the last stop in the Northwest Province, also a lovely fine day with up to 24 in Rustenburg as well as Lichtenburg and Mahikeng. Well, that's your weather forecast for now. Have a lovely afternoon.
Well, that's all we have for you for now. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back at 3 o'clock Central African time. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye. Yeah, no, it's getting chillier.
Well done, South Africa. Through voting, you have made your mark for democracy. The State Information Technology Agency will continue to work with government to secure your data in a safe environment. CETA, safeguarding the integrity of the population register through ICT provision. South Africa, a better place to live in.
As the biggest, the most extensive, diverse news organization and the best content provider of choice in Africa, we aim to offer the nation breaking news, continuous content update, and current affairs programming throughout the day. We are extremely devoted to putting the news in context and providing the nation with the news they want in their own language. We reflect the world to the nation and the nation to itself. This is SABC News. All local, all global, all the time. Exclusive to DSTV.
My name's Leanne Manos. Welcome to the show. Malaysian authorities say they think the co-pilot of the missing aircraft spoke the last words to ground controllers before the plane disappeared.
Valen, good morning to you. How's it going there? A very good morning to Leanne. Thank you very much. Good morning to everybody at home.
I want to thank these wonderful young people of South Africa. This bunch of winners.
Time now to say a very good morning to Andile, who is on the weather desk to see what we can expect today.
The government is clear. We have to demonopolize the economy in the interest, not least, of multi-choice. Work with us, Calvo.
All right,
we need you.
Let's leave it. We have to leave it at that.
That's Morning Live, daily at 6 a.m. on SABC News.
Gaming enthusiasts, including us here at Network, indulged in over 80 exhibits that included the Xbox One and Nintendo. Visitors also got to try out PlayStation 4 computer entertainment system, which was unveiled at Rage 2013.
I just came here to see the Xbox One and the PS4, see which one I'd buy.
If you have close to 400,000 Rand to spare, then you can buy the new UHD TV set. Samsung has launched cheaper models, but cheaper doesn't necessarily mean cheap. South Africa has just received the country's first surgical robot, but the robot isn't quite taking over from your surgeon just yet.
That's Network, Sundays, 7:30 p.m. on SABC News.
We had an unprecedented 57% voter turnout in a local government election. It doesn't happen. So I'm an eternal optimist.
Some people are disillusioned with the voting process being linked to the change in their lives.
Don't happen to think it's a good idea to make voting compulsory. I think that it's the duty of the political parties to convince people to go and vote. To convince people, to motivate them. I'd hate to be compelled to vote when I didn't want to vote, if there was nobody for whom I wanted to vote.
That's Rights and Recourse, Sundays 2 p.m. on SABC News.
Why watch the news on SABC? We bring you news in your own language. News that affect you. Sports. We have
Catherine Drew, SABC News at the High Court in London.
Shervin Bryce-Pease, SABC News.
Sarah Kimani, SABC News, Nairobi.
We touch and change people's lives. SABC News, Africa's news leader.
Hi, welcome to Africa Journal. This week, I have the pleasure to introduce a new face to the Africa Journal team. Welcome, Wanja.
Thank you very much, Alex. It's good to be part of the team.
Yeah.
I am Wanja Mungai.
And this week's show is going to be serious, mainly based in East Africa. However, we end on a high note. We'll start in Africa's youngest country, which has the rest of the world worried.
Then, we are in Kenya for some soothing tunes to quell the turmoil.
Yeah. In the second half, we head to Ethiopia for a fun way to learn.
Many African countries were proud of South Sudan when it became a republic in 2011.
True. However, currently, the rest of the world is holding their breath as they watch thousands being killed and more than 500,000 displaced.
So what is the situation now? Let's find out.
To many people, Rebecca Garang may pass as an ordinary housewife. However, the grandmother of one is deeply troubled. Her distress emanates from the ongoing conflict